degree, it's D. Okay, so this is D, guys. So a security firm establish a new building in the office. Security analysts monitor and manage client system for securing a concern. The office function as which type of facility? So this is the SOC, or a security operational center. And this is what we have already covered before, guys, in the early beginning of the course. That we have detections methodology, and the detections, it requires someone to monitor all the time, 24/7, and who is doing this job is a SOC team. طبعا, if you look at ISAC, is basically an organization, so doesn't have anything to do with these answers. NOC is Network Operation Center. They are very similar to SOC, but they are really concerned with network more than its security. And we have SOB is also like a standard for security architect, so it doesn't have to do anything with this. The only right answer is Security Operational Center. Let's go ahead and look at this question. Because I think it's P. Okay. Abdulaziz is saying it's also B. Okay. Okay, so I think I will give it 1 more minutes to let you guys also wrap your head around the scenario here. Um, we hired system engineer, that someone is really taking care of our systems. So Active Directory, Windows operation, backup, restore, and all this other stuff. Okay, and this guy's laptop didn't really arrive, so he need to use a computer to start to do his job. So he went and he started to use his personal laptop. Okay, and he connect this personal laptop to the network, and it started to work. Okay, so we asking what kind of threats this kind of action will present to the organization. Okay, and if you guys look at the threats that we have already covered a long time ago, okay, we had already categorized threats to two categories. Some of them are intentions, and some of them are unintentional. Okay, so we mentioned that intention, that means someone maliciously doing this to cause harm. Okay, so this is intentionally. Unintentional threats, guys, is something doing something accidentally or by mistake, but it causes harm. And you really need to protect your organization against intentional and unintentional. طبعا deterrent or organized, this is not category of threats. So we have this action, okay? He deep inside him, he wanted really to do good for his company, and he wanted to start work right away. Okay, but he doesn't want to really to cause harm. But this can pose dangerous to his company, because his laptop may be infected by a virus or malicious software, and once he connected, this malicious software will start to spread. So he's not doing this intentionally, he's doing this unintentionally. But accidents and accidental stuff and error and mistakes is considered. So if we can see from here, guys, number A and number C is not even an option. So we end up with B and D. Okay, and as long as he's doing this with not bad intentions, so this is an unintentional threat. It is still a threat. Okay, guys. Okay, so this is a question. So everyone understand what we were really referring to in this question? Okay, so this is the categories. So this is the categories of threats. So let's look at this, guys. This is basically a quick question about controls and safeguard and countermeasures. So I'll let you guys to read about it and let me know which kind of um, of technique it is. Okay. So we have Shaza and Afra. It's basically saying it's C. Okay. Um, any thoughts, the rest of you guys? Nasiba is saying it's managerial. Okay. Faisal is saying it's managerial. Okay, so let's look. Let's just give you guys a quick review about this specific scenario. So this specific scenario is saying that he was reviewing the security plan for the entire data center, and he already suggested one control to add a security guard here to protect the data center. Okay. So the security control, we are talking about physical security here, guys. Okay, and we mentioned that when we look at the categories of security, we'll have managerial controls, we will have physical controls, and we have technical controls. So managerial controls usually something coming from management, okay? And management always they are concerned about vision, mission, objective, policies, governance, okay? And they also really get related to things like really training, awareness. So this is all kind of things that's really related to management, okay? It doesn't require any physical security. They will not really tell you what kind of physical security. As we can see here, who is suggesting this is a security analyst. So this is taking the managerial out of the picture. Okay. We said there's something physical. Okay. So but we don't see any physical here. Okay. We said there is technical, and technicality is means that you are implementing something technical, firewalls, IDS, IPS, application firewall, controlling the environment by identity and access management, all this considered as technical. But I can see here, there is no, this is not a technical thing because this is a physical guard. Okay, so we have one category that we didn't really talk about before. It's called operational, okay, operational controls. And what is operational controls? It's bigger meaning than really technical controls and physical control together. So if you combine physical control and technical controls, okay, it will be operational controls. That's what you do in a day-to-day to really protect your technical and your physical environment. So what we have seen here, guys, is operational controls. Okay, and detective, this is not a detective because the security guard is basically preventive controls. Okay, so it's not managerial, it's not detective. Okay, it's not 100% technical because I'm getting someone physically to stand in front of my assets. So it's going to be operational. And I mentioned, if you guys look up operational security controls, which is something really I have done. So if you give me one chance, I will show you what is operational controls means here. This is operational controls. We must address both physical and virtual security. Okay, and it includes two categories: the virtual categories or the technical controls. This is the IDS and IDS, and also the physical assets. So building and asset security and policies and procedures. all under this. So building, we talk about, the data center, how someone can access the data center, what kind of controls will implement around our data center. So this is, I have added here just for your reference. So if you are in interview or something and someone mentioned operational controls, you will understand that he means both technical and physical security. This is something I found it interesting. That's why I have added here. Okay, guys. So let's move to this specific questions. Okay, I see Afra and Shaza is saying it's B. Okay. And by the way, guys, all of these steps are part of the threat intelligence life cycle. We have already taken one whole class about the threat intelligence life cycles. Okay, and we mentioned it's a process that you start to do collecting data, analyzing this data, and then giving your feedback, and then finally, once you are sure about this intelligence, you started disseminating. So the right answer here, guys, is dissemination. Means we spread this intelligence with others so we can raise the awareness about the new threat. Okay, so everyone, if I figure out a new piece of a malware and I have analyzed this, I collect a sample, I analyze it, okay, I made sure this is a really a bad malicious code. Now I have to really share this with the intelligence community or with maybe my partners or with maybe my colleagues to make sure that we can develop maybe later on a signature for this malware or to stop this malware to spread. And that is why threat intelligence is important. So the part here we are talking about is disseminations, means sharing this information with others, and it's a part of the threat intelligence lifecycle. We have covered the whole life cycle before. Okay, so let's move on to this specific uh, question. We have, okay. So this is also, guys, a question related to threat intelligence, by the way. Okay, so we mentioned that in order to be your intelligence to be really make sense, okay, you really need to follow five categories in order to make the intelligence is really important. So we mentioned that it's accuracy, timelines, confidence is the source of these intelligence, and finally relevance. Okay, and as you can see here, he wanted which factor help to identify threat as they relate to a specific industry, and then they can see relevancy is the important part here because I wanted to really to tell if a certain threats is really hitting a certain environment like an industry like a banking or airline or maybe government institutions. So relevancy here is what we're looking at. The others factors, guys, is also important. Okay, and it's part of making our intelligence really makes sense. The timelines, you don't tell me about the threats that happening 3 months ago. It would not make any sense for me. I wanted to know the threats that's happening right now, the malware that's spreading right now. Okay, accuracy also is very important because you wanted really to be accurate to identify the threats. Otherwise, if you're spreading news about threats which is not 100% accuracy, you can cause a lot of disruption without really need for it. So confidence, also the confidence that comes from the source. that is spreading these kind of threat intelligence. And really, finally, relevancy. Okay, if there is a new attack that is attacking, for example, a SCADA system, okay, and I don't have any SCADA system in my network, so this is not relevant to me at all. Okay, if I'm in banking and there is also there is a new malware that's hitting banking really bad, then I have to really take care and take this intelligence as very serious, because this is very relevant for me. So this is all important, but relevancy here is the most important or the right answer here. Okay, so let's look at this question. Ustaza Afra is saying it's maybe C, maybe oh, okay, again, try to eliminate the wrong answers, and then the right answer will just be bobbing in front of your eyes. Okay. Okay, guys. So here it's just focus in this. We are establishing policy that warns of illegal penalties for unauthorized access to any internal computer system. Okay, we are trying to implement a policy that will give a warning. Okay, when you're trying to access anything in our environment. Okay, a warning. Okay, it's going to be showing you a warning. You are trying to access XYZ company network, and you should be authorized. If you're not authorized, there is some penalties on you. Would that really stop anyone, guys, from attacking the network? So you get, again, this is going to be only a warning message. It's not going to be any technical control. Okay, it's not going to be a firewall. It's not going to be IDS or IPS. It's just a warning message. Sometimes they call it banner, and this banner was saying, we are accessing this company network, and if you don't and if you are unauthorized, you will be punished by law. Okay, so this is not a preventive technique at all, guys. Okay, and this is not a compensating technique as well. Okay, and this is not going to detect if the attacker is our network. So this is what we call deterrent. The deterrent is just a warning. Okay, deterring, I'm telling you, this is my property, don't get inside. If you are inside, this is could be a criminal charge. Okay, so deterring it, if someone is really looking walking around and he found my door is open, but he find these kind of messages, banners, it can deter him to get inside. Okay, but if someone really I would say have the intention to get inside and steal you, this kind of message will not stop him. That's why we would implement the preventive techniques and detective techniques as well. Okay, so this is also another message. And what is the difference between all this kind of different controls? We look at this question, guys. So this is related also to threat intelligence. And I just wanted to tell you this is could be multiple answers here, not only one answer. So if you guys go to back to the Saza Tagreed is saying narrative reports and data feeds. Shaza agreeing with Tagreed. Afra is saying it's BNC, narrative report, BND. Okay. Okay, Faisal also. So it seems like everyone agree, because the first answer and the third answer doesn't make any sense. Vulnerability management, okay, doesn't have to do anything with threat intelligence. Security engineering, this is the field that we are studying right now. this is doesn't have to do anything. So it's obvious, guys, here if we eliminated only the wrong answer here, we can see this is what we are really getting from intelligence. It's either data feeds or narrative reports. Okay. Again, here it's another also questions about threat intelligence. Okay. Tagreed is saying B, Afra is saying D, Abdulaziz is saying D, Faisal is saying Ibtihal B. Okay, so we need to really identify, guys, anomalies here. So the intelligent, so we have already collected the data, and now we wanted, after we collect the data, to identify if this data cause harm or no. Okay, so this is gonna be the analysis phase. So as I can see, most of you guys already, mashallah, answered the right thing, which is basically all of them are parts of the whole process of threat intelligence. Okay, you collect the data, okay, and then you need to really identify which one of these samples really shows it is harmful or malware or whatever. So that is where we start to do our analysis and come up with the conclusion if that's harmful or no. So this is gonna be the analysis B. Okay, another question over here. Okay, I can see, guys, mashallah, most of you already answered these questions. Um, so this again, it's an insiders because he's someone internally. So this is the insiders. Okay, so this is already obvious what the answer is. Okay. So another question also about what type of threats that exist or threat actors. So okay, this is also a similar question to what we have already covered before about the threat actors. And this threat actors is basically insider because he works within the organization and has a malicious intent to access the internal systems. Okay, and this is a little bit about the kill chain. So this is talks about the attacks itself and how the attacks is really happening within the organization. Okay, so or what is the methodology of the attacker to attack an organization? So here is the questions and here is the answer. So he's asking about, just to keep this easy, he's asking about which one of these are the definition of exploitation. Okay, I want to, this is the right way to put this question. Okay, guys, can you lower your hands, please? Because Abir wanted to double check about if everyone is here or not. Can you just lower your hand? Okay, so again, I see, mashallah, we am is answering. Ghazwa, is good to see you participating. Ibtihal, Taghreed. So, mashallah, I see a lot of you guys already saying A, and A is the right answer. Why? Because, first of all, weaponized code transmitted to the target environment in the kill chain, that's mean the delivery or the attack vector. So, this is the wrong answer. Weaponized code establish an outbound channel to remote access. This is basically the command and control. So this is doesn't have to do anything. Okay. Weaponized code achieve resistance to a target. This is mean maintaining the access or being persistent. So this is happening after exploitation. We call this post exploitation. The right answer is we need the code to execute it to really take advantage of the target system or to take advantage of a vulnerability in the target system. This is the exploitation, and this is what will takes us to A. So all this is wrong answer, and the only right answer is here is A, guys. So we already talked about this already, I think, right? I have seen this question before. This is someone bringing his own laptop. This is a new questions about controls. So let's look at this question and try to, figure out what is this question is all about. Okay, so I can see, mashallah, Abtihal is answering, Taghreed and Ghazwa and Naif. It's good to see you guys participating. So this is again, this is kind of a question that we explained before when we talked about the technical control itself does have so many subcategories, and these subcategories are preventive and detective and corrective and compensation. Okay, so this is not preventive because backup will not stop an attack. This is not going to be a detective because this is not going to detect any malicious activity happening in that organization. Compensating is not also an option here because compensating is where you cannot really implement any controls on the asset itself. So you're trying to compensate with a different control, but this is a corrective techniques. So if your system fails, you will be able to restore the systems and have your backup up and running again. So this is the corrective techniques. And I see, mashallah, all of you have already answered these questions. So we already talked about corrective before. I already explained what is this is all about. This is what we mean by operational controls. So this is another question about the attacker motivation or the threat's motivations. Okay, this is, I think it's a bit advanced. I wanted you to think about it, why motivation is important. I will explain it, but I just wanted to highlight this. So we have Naif and we am and Ibtihal and Shazam is saying it's either B or C. So I can see different opinions here. The scholars are in disagreement. Okay, so when we consider a threat motivations, okay, and the threat motivation mean why someone is really motivated to attack your system. Is he coming from he wanted to gain a financial maybe gain from your system, or maybe he have a political agenda, or maybe he's been pushed by I would say ABT or nation states. So we wanted to really understand their motivation. Questioning what an attacker stand to gain is helpful. Okay, so this is where we want. This is the definition of motivation. Is helpful in determining and determining which factor. Okay, is going to help us to understand how effective they will be. Okay, if it's gonna help us to understand the likelihood, okay, or the capability or the impact. Okay, so what is really motivation is gonna help us. Okay, I will tell you from my perspective. Okay, so this is we mentioned that again. The any cybersecurity attacks, guys, it start with two factors: is the threats and vulnerability. Okay, and motivation is really have to do something with likelihood. Okay, if he's really motivated to exploit the systems, okay, and he is really well funded, and he's really does have the capability, okay, they will definitely the likelihood will increase. Okay, so motivation is very important to really tell the likelihood. So this is another question that I found interesting to explain. Okay. We can see from here, guys, um, this is like a scenario-based questions. I just wanted to really, this is not clear. Okay. Um, I just wanted, this scenario one is, I will explain myself, but here is a question, a scenario-based question. So I wanted you guys to read the scenario and let me know what is the correct answer here. That you need to pick two answers. So if A, B, C, D, E. So I get the first answer here from Shaza is saying E, okay, and I got another one is saying B. So far we have Shaza and Sarah is saying B, and E is the right answer. Okay, what do you guys think? So Sarah is saying it's definitely it's also could be also E. So and the Beam and Nawar is saying CASP, which is basically the cloud broker. We have talked about cloud broker and how cloud broker can really monitor our access to the cloud. So if I allow me, the main issue here, guys, is okay, the preventive control are all there. Okay, so we don't really need any either preventive control, and that's why this first answer here is basically nonsense. Okay, so what the really the security admin wants is basically to have a detection techniques to detect these attacks. Okay, so I'm looking for detection techniques, and these detection techniques should allow me to monitor what's happening on the client's computers or endpoint computers. And we mentioned that we have two solutions for this. We need to have we need to reduce cost as well. So if you guys can see, we need to really to look at the logs coming from the systems, and at the same time, we also wanted to monitor the traffic going from our users to the cloud, and that's why we need these two solutions. So we need to install SIM. So SIM will be able to allow us to collect the logs and review these logs. And we need to implement also the third-party CASP solution, because CASP is broker is going to allow us monitoring our user who's accessing the cloud and what is their behavior and what did they click and what they done. And we have already mentioned that CASP can be done in three different deployment. Can be done on the client side or in the cloud side or even as a proxy. So any one of them is will allow you to really read the logs from your end users. Why? Because you are already seeing that one of your user has been compromised and you wanted to implement detection techniques. So the number B and E is the correct answer. Okay, I know this is kind of an advanced questions. You will not find a lot of in the exam a lot of scenarios, but again, I'm teaching you because I'm giving you these scenarios because there is almost 3 or 4 questions in the exam are scenario based. So you really need to read the scenario at least twice and solve it. One good news about this that we will are able to, inshallah, to give numbering. So if you are not quite sure about your answers, you can really leave these questions and come back when you have enough time to read and try to figure out what is the right answer is. Okay, so this is another also question, which is basically uh, a scenario-based question. So here is asking you to select 3 answers. And we're looking at preventive controls. Naif is saying enable DLP, okay, and enable SE Android. SE Android is basically secure Android, okay. So we may still need an answer. We need 3 answers here.
I can't really see the last answer. Is there one
Okay.
more?
Yes. So here in the end, I can tell you there is disable Bluetooth and disable 802.11, which is basically the wireless protocol for communication. I have Nawar saying it's E, D, and G. Okay, so Nawar saying we need to do enable DLP, enable SE Android. Okay, Haya is saying it's good to see you. Haya answering us also. Haya is saying AMP, and Bassam saying ACG and ACG. Disable Bluetooth. Okay. So Sarah Kahtani. Okay. Enable DDR. Okay. So let me, first of all, guys, let's look at this. We are company policy specifies the following regime. We need to implement mandatory access control. What is mandatory access control? That we need to have an operating system that can enforce labeling and clearance. Okay, which one is can enable security clearance and labeling is secure Linux. Secure Linux. Secure Linux. We have a version of secure Linux that allow you to implement a security label and clearance. And we have also a version called Secure Android, which is Android basically is a Linux operating system that will enforce the mandatory access control. Okay, so this is the first answer here. SE is the stand for Security Android or Security Linux. Okay, device must only use the mobile carrier transport. What he means by this, mobile carrier يعني he needs in order to get any data, okay, he needs to connect to the mobile carrier, which is the 4G, the 5Gs, okay. So it will not really allow you to really get any data from any other source. So how can I really must see this devices only must only means I need to really disable anything that allow me to connect to the external world. Okay, only 4G and 5G is allowed. So we need to disable the Bluetooth and we need to really disable 811. Okay, DLB guys is not gonna be helpful in this case because I'm not really worried about data leakage. Okay, I'm allowing this